Household Appliance Industry Analysis by Tim Allen and Tyler Postell. We begin with a five-force analysis of the major household appliance industry with supplier power. Suppliers are very concentrated in this industry, with firms in China and Mexico making up 70%. The suppliers are required to produce in bulk because they sell to businesses or retailers. There's not a lot of differentiation of inputs for the appliance industry, so the suppliers can specialize in a few things. The inputs have a very high impact on overall price or differentiation of the end products. The cost of switching suppliers will be low. Since there is very little differentiation of inputs for the industry, there is a low presence of substitute inputs. The threat of forward integration is low, and the cost of the suppliers relative to the total purchases in the industry are high, accounting for almost 50%. To conclude supplier power analysis, we found supplier power to be a strong force on the rivalry of the household appliance industry. Next, we look at the threat of new entrants using the five-force analysis. New entrants are limited in the household appliance industry due to overall high and increasing costs within the household appliance industry. The abundance of high costs results in a low absolute cost advantage. The large amount of capital requirements are a deterrent for new entrants. Brand recognition is very high in the industry, so an unknown brand entering the market should not expect to do well. Continuing the analysis of threat of new entrants, household trends have a large effect on the industry, meaning new entrants need a solid forecast on how the industry plans to perform in the future. The industry is being encouraged to focus on new smart appliances to help lower electric bills, so new entrants will need to gain the technology and knowledge of the new appliances to compete. To conclude the second force within the five-force analysis, the threat of new entrants and their effect on the rivalry of the industry is low due to high costs, value of a strong brand, and changing market. The third analysis used is threat of substitutes. Buyer inclination to substitute within this industry is high because of household trends such as eating out. Price-performance trade-off substitutes are considered medium to high due to the changing number of people per household, which affects food and cooking trends. Due to high brand recognition, possibility of buyers switching to substitutes is low. Low switching costs causes the threat of substitutes forces to be greater. The threat of substitutes conclusion is as follows. Because of changing household trends as well as low switching costs, the threat of substitutes within the American household appliance industry is considered low. The next analysis used is called buyer power. Buyer volume within the industry is low due to only four main market segmentations, with retailers making up 52.1%. Establishment of brand names conveys to customers the quality of products, which causes brand identity to be high. Price sensitivity is high because industry products are expensive and consumers are willing to search for the best price. The threat of backward integration is low within the buyer power analysis. Due to a large number of competing products in the United States, product differentiation is also low. Buyer concentration versus the industry is high, while imports accounting for more than 50% of domestic demand, while exports are continuing to fall, both contribute to a high substitutes trade. To conclude the buyer power analysis, we found buyer power to be a strong force on the rivalry of the household appliance industry. The final analysis in the five forces analysis is degree of rivalry. Exit barriers are considered low to medium, partly due to brand loyalty, with very few firms implementing contracts with buyers. Due to 80% of the industry belonging to the top 6 firms and the remaining 20% comprised of the remaining industry concentration is considered to be high. Because the industry is in a declining stage of its life cycle, industry growth is considered low. This industry is considered at a high capacity due to a large number of smaller firms competing within the industry, creating a high intermittent capacity. To continue the degree of rivalry analysis, product differences are considered a medium to high trait based on a large variety of products. Market price is a direct factor to switching costs, causing switching costs to be low because of similar product pricing. The trait of brand loyalty is considered high, creating higher customer loyalty. To conclude the final 5-force analysis of the degree of rivalry, based on industry concentration, the current declining industry life cycle stage, and low switching costs, the degree of rivalry within the American household appliance industry is considered low. Within the household appliance industry, we found supplier power and buyer power to be the two strongest forces found within the 5-force analysis. Supplier power is considered to be a strong force because of high supplier concentration, high importance of volume to the supplier, as well as high impact of input on cost. Another strong force in the analysis is buyer power, due to high brand loyalty, price sensitivity, as well as high substitutes. To further analyze this industry, General Electric performance was found. In comparison to the American household appliance industry, General Electric's average revenue growth over the past 6 years is 1.8% higher. In comparison, General Electric's average profit growth is 25.16% and average profit margin is 5.9%, where the industry's profitability is only 5.8%. To uncover the reasons behind General Electric's outperforming of the industry, a strategy analysis is found. General Electric's large range of products such as aircraft engines, power generators, medical imaging, and many more creates brand recognition, giving greater profitability. Because of the co-ownership General Electric has established with NBC Universal, General Electric has more freedom to advertise more platforms more frequently. Caused by the implementation of tax credit incentives, the firm's strategy has switched to more energy-efficient products. This push for energy-efficient appliances has resulted in greater revenue. Lastly, diversification throughout the world by operating within more than 100 countries further creates greater brand recognition. To conclude the analysis of General Electric's performance, General Electric outperforms the industry in multiple aspects, including profitability, average revenue, and profit margins. Improved brand recognition, increased barriers to entry for the competition, and high buyer incentive also contribute to the performance of General Electric. High barriers to entry is created through a large advertising and media presence, while buyer incentive is directly related to customer needs of energy-efficient appliances. Analysis of the American household appliance industry through the use of 5 forces analysis attempts to answer the question if the industry is attractive. To conclude the analysis, using 5 forces analysis as well as individual firm analysis, analyzing buyer power, supplier power, the two strongest forces, improvements can be made to strengthen the overall industry. In addition, by analyzing the success of General Electric, individual firms can develop strategies for improved performance.